In the IT industry, the advent of cloud technology has thrown open another wide range of possibilities for India. The Indian IT industry can come up with new products and services with cloud technologies, incorporating their own IPs and patents. And so the stage is set for a real quantum jump in this particular area. Key social ministries like education, health, rural development have ambitious digitization plans, content creation, and service delivery programs. And there again, there are enormous opportunities for the industry. So the point that I'm trying to make is that we're ready to leapfrog ahead. We want to move to the electronics revolution very quickly. And in a sense, the electronics revolution will be a catalyst for other revolutions that will be taking place in various sectors of the economy. It will leverage the new industrial revolution of the 21st century, I believe. And so India is ready to leapfrog, and it is time for us to connect the dots and to give a proper direction to the ICTE sector. It is also time to look at the missing pieces. One missing link is electronics manufacturing. By 2020, the demand-supply gap in this sector will be 300 billion, as I mentioned. And the underdeveloped electronics manufacturing sector may upset our plans of technology in the 21st century if we do not move ahead very quickly. So we have to take a holistic view and overcome the enormous challenges that lie ahead and emulate the successes of the IT and the telecom sector that we've had. And it is in this context that a combination of three interdependent and synergistic policies for telecom, IT, and electronics manufacturing have been formulated and released. So we're really looking ahead at 2020, 2030, see where we want to go, what are the missing links, put those in order and give incentives to the industry to participate in this very exciting dream that we have. So the three policies together drive the national agenda for ICTE. The principal policy objectives are optimally leverage our existing and developing ICT infrastructure and capabilities to meet our growing need for high-quality social sector services like health, education, rural development, skill development, welfare programs, e-governance services, economic services like banking and insurance. The problem is, can a country wait for brick and mortar infrastructure to be built to provide these services? Or should a country not leapfrog through the enormous opportunities now being provided to us in a new world, new internet world, where we can use electronics to provide these services? And the fact of the matter is that we cannot, a nation cannot afford to wait for 10, 15, 20 years to take care of the health sector of our country. A nation cannot wait for 10, 15, 20 years to ensure that education is provided to every child in India. We just cannot afford. If we start building schools in every little place, brick and mortar schools in every little place, we'll ultimately lose the battle. So we have to use the electronics sector to catapult the change that we want to make in India. And so imagine a world where the Akash were in the hands of every child in India. And imagine if convergence technologies become a reality in the years to come. As it is, we are setting up we're going to connect every Gram Panchayat with fiber optics in the next 2.5 years or so. And then the last mile connectivity will be through wireless broadband. So if we are able to actually provide the material for education to the child through the infrastructure that we are developing, we would have reached the objectives much quicker than having to move forward through brick and mortar structures. So we want to use ICT capabilities to enhance competitiveness and efficiency in manufacturing across the board and in key infrastructure sectors like power. That's again very, very important. And we want to leverage the mushrooming demand for ICT products and services to foster innovation, encourage R&D through academic institutions and industry, and to create a range of products and services that not only meet domestic demand, but also address global demand. Because we believe that a solution found in India for the diversity of the ecosystem here will be a solution that will be tailor-made for some part of the world. So I think solutions in India have universal application to that extent. So we are not only going to cater for the domestic market, but we're also going to cater for the global market. We need to reposition the mobile phone from a mere communication device to an instrument of empowerment that combines communication with proof of identity, full secure financial and other transaction capability, multilingual services. That's of course something very peculiar to India, not something that the rest of the world is confronted with. Because you do drive 100 kilometers in any part of the country and you will see people speaking another language, or at least another dialect. And so a great part of our challenge is to how to reach information in their dialect so that they can be empowered through that process. This, of course, is particularly challenging in India. It's not so in other parts of the world. So that's another area where we need to actually provide for multilingual services for the communities at large. Of course, that will help also people like us, because when we go to some other parts of India, we don't know the language that people speak there. So there is a communication gap. But these kind of services will help bridge that gap. So the national policy on electronics manufacturing aims to transform India into a global hub for electronic systems design and manufacturing, so as to meet the country's needs and serve the international market by promoting indigenous manufacturing in the entire value chain on ESDM, and promoting a vibrant and sustainable ecosystem for R&D, design and engineering, and innovation in electronics. The key objectives of the policy on electronics manufacturing is to achieve by 2020 employment of about 28 million people, a turnover of 55 billion in chip design alone and embedded software, and set up about 200 electronics manufacturing hubs and about 2,500 PhDs to support this particular initiative. This is our vision as far as the national policy on electronics manufacturing is concerned, in the context of the turnover of the $400 billion that I talked about. The point, of course, that I wish to make is that this particular sector provides an opportunity for all of you, both from the supply side and from the demand side. The visionary policy roadmap, clear strategies and objectives, a buoyant domestic demand and strong skill base makes this sector an ideal investment opportunity for business and entrepreneurs. So I'm delighted, absolutely thrilled to be here, and to note that the India Semiconductor Association has made a mark for itself in terms of working on national concerns and for creating global awareness about the potential of Indian electronics and design markets. With 170 member companies across verticals of semiconductor products, VLSI design and embedded software and systems, you represent the future of the Indian ESDM industry. ISA is today a very credible and respected voice in the industry. I congratulate the leadership of ISA for making this body more inclusive through focused initiatives and alliances with other international associations. And of course, I'm delighted to be here and very thankful for you to have provided me with this platform for an interaction between government and industry. And I wish, of course, the ISA success in all its future endeavors, and I welcome all industry leaders and entrepreneurs present here. Invite them to partner with government in our endeavor for a strong and vibrant ESDM sector, and of course, naturally, a very strong India. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. May I request Dr. Pradeep Datta to honor Honorable Minister of HRD and Communications, Shri Kapil Sibalji. Thank you so much once again, with a small token of our love and appreciation for being here with us today. As we continue, may I?
Thank you, sir, for a truly enlightening talk and a call for action and participation. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to a close of the formal session of day one. I request all of you to join us for cocktails and dinner at the Prince of Wales lawns. Thank you.
We have a number of interesting speakers lined up for tomorrow as well, so we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 7:45 for the networking breakfast. Have yourselves a very pleasant dinner. Thank you once again.